Hey, what are you doing? Make sure you pace yourself. And don't stop at any bars on the way home.
Okay, I understand.
Do you really understand? Tomorrow our families are meeting, right? It's a really important day.
I told you I'll be fine. Wilma, you really are a worrywart.
I worry because of what's happened in the past when your drinking got out of hand. You never know what you might do if you drink too much. You definitely need to be careful tonight.
Okay.
I don't want you to go to the meeting with a hangover.
I know that. I can't text forever.
Really, please be good. So I don't need to tell you. Kelly, the family meeting. You were supposed to be at the restaurant at 11:50. You know we have less than 10 minutes until our reservation. We've already arrived at the restaurant and are waiting to be shown to our table. It's you and I that are getting married. It's meaningless without you.
Yes, I understand. I thought it would get messy and noisy if I called you too soon, so I didn't call you on purpose. Maybe it's time I tell you the truth.
Huh? What do you mean?
I feel bad about canceling at the last minute like this. I'm having a baby, so I'm not going.
What?
I mean, my ex-girlfriend Ruth is pregnant with my child, so I'm canceling.
What? Pregnant? Wait a minute. That's a terrible excuse for being late.
It's not that I'm late. It's that I'm not going. If she's pregnant with my child, then I have to take responsibility as the father. And I should put Ruth first, not you, right? You understand that, don't you?
Isn't it strange that you're asking me to agree with that statement?
But in the world of common sense, it's a no-brainer. Your ex-girlfriend who's pregnant, or your current girlfriend who hasn't even met your parents yet. Which one should be prioritized? If you want, why don't we take a street poll and ask? I'm sure there would be a lot of people who would say that Ruth should be given priority, right?
So I'm just saying, it's absurd to ask me, the fiancée, who had a promise to marry you, about this. In the first place, you have no common sense when you have a relationship with another woman while you have a fiancé.
You see? This is the kind of hassle I thought it would be. So, I decided to tell you about the pregnancy at the last minute.
Huh? Hey, could it be the reason you said you were going out for drinks and didn't come home is because...
Oh, you figured it out? That's right. Ruth told me she was pregnant, so we were celebrating. Oh, of course, Ruth is pregnant, so she didn't drink any alcohol. It wouldn't be good for the baby. I want the fruit of our love to be born happy and healthy.
I can't believe it. The fruit of your love? You're just trying to run away from your responsibilities.
Anyway, I'm breaking off the engagement. This is a done deal.
Kelly, it's not that simple, is it?
Oh, is that so? You're an adult. You're worried about being thrown out all of a sudden? If you want to get married, I'll introduce you to other guys.
Huh?
You're just going on and on. That's what the problem is.
Would you stop just making stuff up?
Well, I'm sorry, but women after 30 are barely marriageable, and there's not much time left. You're afraid I'm going to leave you, and you're going to be single forever, aren't you? You're not very pretty. You don't know if there's anyone who'll take you, right?
I've had enough of this. You've stepped on me so much. I wouldn't ever think of marrying a man like you.
Oh, well then, I'll just say that our engagement has been called off.
It's not done yet.
Hmm?
I want compensation.
Ah, there you have it. Well, okay, tell me the amount later. I talked to Ruth, and we've decided to get the marriage license by the end of the day. I'm glad you understood without any problems.
Of all people, that Ruth.
That's right, that Ruth, the popular, fun-loving girl. I'm really happy.
That's not what I meant, but whatever. Don't come crying to me later.
Huh? I'm amused that you're still so stubborn. I'm not going to cry. It wasn't my baby.
What? Kelly, a year has passed, and now what?
Wilma.
What? You write like you're crying and screaming.
That's exactly what I'm doing.
Huh?
It wasn't mine.
Well, are you saying that the child Ruth gave birth to wasn't actually your child?
That's right. And the second child was different too. Ugh, how is this possible?
Huh? You mean another baby was born after that, but that baby had a different father too?
That's right. I was betrayed by Ruth.
So it did happen.
Huh? What do you mean it did happen? Do you know something?
Ruth, she may look like an authentic Sunny Beauty, but in reality, she has a side that plays around with men. She's always on the lookout for the right guy. So I thought maybe...
Oh, come on. Why didn't you tell me a year ago?
You know what? Stop writing that way. It's depressing. Just be normal.
Oh, okay.
So why did you text me about that?
Huh?
If you just want to complain, spare me. The only reason I hadn't blocked you yet was because I was just checking up on you after the engagement was called off, just in case something happened. I just happened to forget to block you.
Huh?
So do you just want to complain?
No,
Bullseye? Then I don't want to hear it, so I'll block you. Thanks for giving me just the right opportunity. Okay, bye. I'll never unblock you again. See ya.
Wait a minute. I texted you because I have something very important to tell you.
Something important?
Let's get married.
Huh?
Let's start over again from that day, a year ago when we went our separate ways. I think we were young, immature, and stupid back then, and that stupidity destroyed our bond. But now Wilma, I reaffirmed my feelings for you, and I was able to overcome the ordeal of being apart for a year. And then I realized, who I really love is you.
Hey?
Yeah, you don't have to say it. You're remembering the happiness of the days we spent together, right? Me too, me too. I've been living in loneliness and regret it ever since that day. Wilma, the days without you were empty. I couldn't forget you. So let's start again from here, just the two of us. After a year of trial and tribulation, we can live happily ever after. Let's make up for the days we were apart.
No, thanks.
I'm confident that I can be the right partner of you now. I want to build a future with you. I want to bring back your smile.
Excuse me?
I want to walk with you again. I want to take your hand. I want to stand next to you and pledge my love and happiness. I want to draw a future with you. Come on, accept me.
You're disgusting.
Huh?
Are you on drugs? I don't have the slightest intention of getting back together with you. Can you stop talking about yourself so much? You're giving me goosebumps.
What?
You're wasting my time. Excuse me?
Oh no, Wilma! Reply to me. Don't tell me you really blocked me. Wilma! Wilma, why didn't you come out of the apartment?
Huh? Who is this?
Kelly.
You again.
I got a new cell number and a new text account.
I've blocked you.
That's not the point. Why didn't you come out of your apartment?
What are you talking about?
I realized that my failed re-proposal 2 months ago was due to the fact that we didn't meet in person and did it by text. So I decided to make it work this time, to increase the odds of that happening. I spent 2 months preparing for it. The bottom line is, you didn't come out of your apartment, and the neighbors called the police and made a big deal out of it. I know you're shy, but you could have been honest and accepted my love before it turned into a police matter.
So what did you do?
You saw what I did. You know what I did. It was a flash mob proposal.
Huh? What? Flash mob? You mean the kind where a bunch of passersby suddenly start dancing and you surprise them with something at the end?
Yes, that's right. For the past 2 months, I've gone to the trouble of arranging a vendor and getting 50 people for the flash mob. I've practiced a lot to make my re-proposal to you a success. I was going all out to propose to you, using up all the money from my divorce from Ruth. Why didn't you come out of your apartment?
Where did you do that?
In front of the West Side Apartments, of course, where you live.
I moved out a long time ago.
Huh?
What could I do? I didn't want to give up too much personal information. It seems as though it's caused problems for people who aren't involved. So I'll tell you. I'm already married. I don't have any feelings for you.
Huh?
By the way, I'm pregnant with my husband's child. I'm 5 months along.
You're married?
So you really didn't know? I figured you would have found out from mutual friends or something.
Before I knew it, I was pretty much blocked by everyone.
Aha. Well, that would certainly happen. You had a fiancée, cheated on her, and even had a child with your lover. And it was with that Ruth. Yeah, that's how it should be.
Don't be convinced just by that.
Anyway, that's what I've been up to.
Please don't leave me. Before I knew it, even my parents moved somewhere else. My parents' house disappeared and I've lost touch with them. You're all I've got. Hey, you still love me, right? You married your current husband out of compromise, didn't you? Our love isn't over yet. You'd choose me over him, right?
Gross.
What?
You'll have to excuse me. I'm getting annoyed. It's really bad for the baby.
Wilma!
You're grossing me out, so don't talk anymore.
No. This just ends with me being embarrassed. Wilma!
Later on, I probed a friend of mine who still lives in that apartment building. That flash mob fiasco? It was Kelly. I was astonished and laughed out loud. He had done it quite spectacularly. The wreckage of a bouquet of bright red roses, clearly the remains of the Operation Flash Mob proposal fiasco. They were just lying sadly by the side of the road. According to the information that miraculously came to me afterwards, his parents indirectly intervened with Kelly, who quit his job and retreated to his home because of the fiasco, which was so embarrassing. They threw him in a civil engineering company as a live-in worker. They pushed him into a black van that picked him up, crying and sobbing. Well, I honestly don't care as long as he doesn't show himself in front of me for the rest of my life. I have my son safely, and I'm doing my best to raise him now. My annoying ex-boyfriend is gone, and I am happy to live with my sweet husband and my beautiful son.
Are Mom and Dad on vacation? Do you know anything about it?
Traveling?
No, I don't really know. They haven't been home since the day before yesterday, and I can't get them on the cell phone.
Did you see what was on the table?
There was a bank book in my name with $5,000 in the account.
There should have been a letter too.
Oh yeah, there was, but...
You didn't read it?
I looked at the first part of the letter, but he said something about the future and how being still unemployed at 35. I was so annoyed. I burned it with a lighter. Really, I hate it when old people are so preachy.
Oh, you got rid of it without reading the whole thing.
Well, I didn't read most of it. I almost didn't read it. When I saw the first sentence, I was so pissed off. I'm scary when I'm pissed off, you know. So, do you know where they went? When are they coming back from their trip? I'm getting tired of eating at restaurants and convenience stores.
You really don't realize the situation you're in, do you?
What?
The letter you burned was about what you have to do from now on.
What's that?
You're a piece of work. Okay, I know what the letter said, so I'll just write the gist of it here. Mom and Dad moved somewhere far away. They're never coming back to that house again.
What? I didn't hear anything.
Of course you didn't. That's the premise.
Why?
When Mom asked you to spend less money on games on the internet and work more, you hit her. When Dad tried to stop you, he got kicked in the solar plexus. I heard that for the past few years, you've been regularly spending $2,000 to $3,000 a month on games.
That's right. You need time and money to run events, don't you? Even you play online games, sis, so you know what I'm talking about.
I pay only $30 a month, at the most. And of course, I pay out of my own pocket. And I spend about 1 to 2 hours a day playing games.
What? That's nothing.
You play too much.
Online gaming is a 24-hour-a-day fight. If I were like you, I would get in trouble with the guild members. I'm a guild master, so I have to spend money and play 24 hours a day, right?
And that money comes from our parents' savings and pensions. And because of that, it's hard to make ends meet. And they're in the red every month. Their savings just keeps getting smaller. He said if they didn't do something about it, they were all gonna end up in the street someday.
Dad has his retirement money, doesn't he? He's just being stingy.
It's not infinite. It's not your money to spend in the first place.
I don't care about that. Just tell me where they moved to. If they're not gonna come back to this house, I'll just move in with them.
What?
That's what was in the letter I burned, right? I didn't see it, so tell me.
You dunce? You still don't get it? Mom and Dad, they've chosen to cut all ties with you. Them not coming back means they never want to see your face again.
What? How is that even possible for a parent?
They were determined to make you be on your own, no matter what.
What?
About the future. The lease expires the month after next, so you have to find a suitable apartment and move out as soon as possible. Also, from next month, your cell phone bill will be deducted from the bank account they left behind.
Hey, this is all a bit confusing, isn't it? Can you please tell me what's going on so I can understand?
He said, with the $5,000 they left behind, you should first find a job and a place to live and establish a basis for your own life. They said that this is the last money they will ever give you. That's what was written in the letter.
There's no way that any of that money's left. It was such a small amount.
What?
I thought they gave me money to apologize for asking me to cut back on my online game spending. I immediately withdrew the money and spent most of it. If you'd seen me in my daily life, you'd know that $5,000 isn't enough. Mom and Dad have a seriously weird sense of money, don't they?
No what?
I've got it. I'll just live with you, sis.
Huh?
I'm packing up my stuff and heading over there. Set aside plenty of space for me.
You're so naive.
Huh?
I've already moved out too. I changed jobs as well.
Huh?
I kept my cell phone as the only way to contact you. As was written in the letter, I will cut off all communication with you as soon as you say or do anything that's inappropriate.
I told you I didn't read that letter.
It's your fault for throwing it away without reading it. It has nothing to do with us. I'd rather you thank me for telling you the contents of the letter up to now.
Wait a minute.
You don't even have money to move, do you? You better hurry up and get your ass to an employment agency. You can make a living if you work a day job or whatever. You're only 35. You could do manual labor.
If I do that, I'll have less time to play online games.
Even after all that's been said, I'm rejecting all calls after this, and tomorrow I'm changing my cell phone carrier. You won't be able to contact me anymore.
Oh my god, that's terrible, sis.
Goodbye, Christian. Realize that you're the one who's financially insane. From now on, live modestly and honestly.